What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of staying disciplined and, more importantly, how to stay disciplined when we're continuing down our LeetCode journey. As I'm sure y'all are aware, or maybe some of y'all are not aware, on this channel, we're doing LeetCode problems every day in Swift. So if you're into learning Swift, you're into learning LeetCode, you just need help with understanding what the LeetCode problem is asking, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we'll be here every day doing a different LeetCode problem. Let's get into this discipline stuff. The first thing I want y'all to understand is the discipline to stay consistent is what separates the few from the many. We're going to say that again. The discipline to stay consistent is what separates the few from the many, y'all. So if you want to be the best, if you want to be the programmer or the coder that is at the top level, you're going to have to be disciplined. And this really could go for anything, y'all. It could go for coding, programming, working out, uh, gardening, what you eat, your diet. Discipline can come into all parts of your life. You can apply this to all parts of your life. It doesn't just have to be coding. But for me personally, I've started my discipline journey through coding, I really started, this is how I started, y'all. This is how I really started. It all started with making my bed. After the pandemic, I was in like a little slump. I was moving a little lazy. I stopped making my bed, and one day I was like, I gotta get back. I gotta get back on my stuff. I gotta get back grinding. So I started making my bed every day. I get to making my bed every day. A few months go by, and I'm like, this is easy. If I can make my bed every day, I could work out every other day. That's not even every day. All I gotta do is work out every other day. So I started working out every other day. That's all I had to do. It's that easy. It's just that easy. And then that's what led me to programming, y'all. I'm like, if I could work out every other day, I could learn how to code. I'm trying to make this app. If I start learning how to code today, in 5, 10 years, if I do an hour, 2 hours a day for 5 to 10 years, I'll know how to code. So I was like, dang, that's discipline. That's what discipline does for you. You can really do whatever you want if you have discipline. Don't you know back in the day when the people used to say you can be anything you want in life? When you're a kid and people used to tell you that, you can. If you have discipline, you could be whatever you want to be. You could be a doctor, a dentist, a weightlifter, bodybuilder, a programmer, a sports player. All you have to do is have the discipline to stay consistent when everybody else is losing motivation and they're not keeping up with their consistency, and you are. You're going to pass them and you're going to get better than them while they stay stagnant. Now, they might get their motivation back and then they're right here, but you were going up the whole time. You never lost your consistency. You have to stay consistent. I think it was Jim Jones. I don't know who was the first person to say this. I heard Jim Jones say it first. I don't know if this is his quote or not, but he was talking about, I don't want to butcher it, but it was something about you have to stay consistent even during the times when you lose motivation, because the motivation is going to come back. And when it comes back, you'll be happy that you stay consistent through that period, because a lot of people do not stay consistent through that period when they first lose their motivation. And that's where everything falls apart. You have to keep going and staying consistent even when you lose your motivation, because the motivation will come back, especially the closer you get to achieving your goals. The closer and closer you get, the more motivation is going to start to creep back in. But everybody goes through it. You might start something one day, you're motivated, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then you start doing it. You might do it for a couple weeks, you might do it for a couple months, you might even do it for a year. And then you notice that that motivation isn't there anymore. You lost that spark and you put it down. Next thing you know, you never got to the finish line because you lost your motivation and you didn't stay consistent. That's what discipline is. That's where the discipline comes in. You have to do something that you don't want to do at a time that you don't want to do it. And that's where the discipline is going to push you ahead, because that's where most people give up at, and you won't give up. You have to keep going. That's why it's extremely important to stay consistent through the times that you lose your motivation. That's why I thought that was a good quote. And that's the real part of the journey, y'all. Once you get through that part and the motivation starts to come back, and you looking back on it and you're like, dang, I really pushed through that. I really fought through that. Even though I didn't feel like doing it, even though I didn't want to do it, I did it anyway. And now look where I'm at. Imagine, and then you're going to imagine where you would be at on your towards your goal if you didn't stay consistent, and you'll realize how far behind you will be. Then you'll start to realize how many people give up all the way back there before they even really fight through the or right, excuse me, they give up right when they lose their motivation, and you'll realize how long ago that was, how long it took to come back, and how much you actually got done in that period that you wouldn't have gotten done if you had gave up back then, like most people. And that's when you're really going to realize that you can do it, and you're going to start to believe in yourself, and you're going to start to understand the importance of discipline, or the value of discipline, and you'll realize that you can do it again if it happens again. And that's what's important as well, y'all, because once you know you can do it, then if it happens again, you'll know you can do it again, and it won't be as hard, it won't be as tough on your mind, because you already know you can do it. You won't look at it like it's going to be tough. You'll look at it like it's going to be easy because you did it before. And that's going to make you stronger as well as a person, because you're going to know that you can get through those tough times. You could persevere even when you don't want to do it. Like you have to get up and code when you're sick. We're doing LeetCode sick. We're doing LeetCode tired. We're doing LeetCode when we're sick and tired. You have to do it every day. You have to, there's no excuse unless it's like a real excuse, but you know what a real excuse is. We're not going to get into those because we don't do excuses. We're doing LeetCode every day, no matter what. We're not letting anything stop us. Just remember, another important thing is you have to start. Now, that's the most important part, I say, of the journey, or one of the most important parts is starting. And when you start, you have to internalize and understand that this is going to take years. This is not going to be something that happens overnight. And you need to know that when you start, so that you can mentally prepare for that. So you can mentally prepare for the 10,000-mile journey you're about to go on. You know it's not going to be easy. You don't expect it to be easy, because that's how you're going to get through it. Once you realize that this is going to take a long time, then you can sit down and focus, and it will be a little bit easier to push through because you already planned for it to take a long time. So just remember, every 10,000-mile journey starts with the first step. So just take that first step and keep putting one foot in front of the other until you get to the finish line, y'all. It's that easy. Just don't stop. Don't give up. Just keep going. Another thing, don't worry about imposter syndrome. We all have it, or all had it. Everybody was a beginner once. Every master was in your shoes. If you feel like you have imposter syndrome, it's just part of the process. You got to trust the process. Don't rush the process. You'll get there. Just keep going. Everybody's been there. We all started. We all were beginners at one point. Every programmer had that one day where that was their first day of code. That was their first print hello world. Everybody has that. So if that's where you're at, don't worry. The what got programmers, those master programmers, what got them to where they are today is one thing and one thing only: discipline. The discipline to stay consistent. They kept going. They didn't stop. They didn't write just print hello world and then give up when they didn't know how to write a for loop or something. They learned hello world, then they learned the for loop, then they learned the while loop, and they just kept learning for years and years and years until they became the best at it. So just understand that we're all working, even if you don't see it. I think Michael Jordan said one time the best thing he ever did was make it look easy. People not going to see the hard work behind the scenes. That's where you got to lock in and understand that nobody's going to see that. You're not going to get any recognition from the hard work you're doing when nobody's watching. But you're going to gain something, though. You're going to gain knowledge and a better understanding of whatever it is you're trying to do. And that's going to be valuable, that you can use and leverage later on in life, especially when you're competing against people who don't even have the discipline to do what you do. You're going to go past them easy. Then you're going to come across some people that do have the discipline, and those are the people that are really going to push you and make you even better, because they're going to be learning stuff. You're going to be learning stuff. Next thing you know, you're going to learn. They're going to show you what they're learning, you're going to show them what you're learning, and everybody's just going to get better. But you got to get to that point yet. You have to keep going. So just make sure you believe in yourself. Don't worry about looking cool right now, because you'll look cool later in life. You know what I'm saying? You might not be looking cool now, but you're looking uncool now so you can look cool later. You're putting in the investment. You're putting in the work and the time to get to where you need to be. You also, one thing that's also very important is you need to take breaks. Take a break, breathe every now and then, go for a walk, get some exercise, do something other than coding, or do something other that you're trying to apply this discipline to, because you don't want to burn yourself out. Burnout is a real thing, y'all. So you want to make sure that you try to minimize the risk of burnout as much as possible. So if you've been coding for 4 or 5 hours straight, go for a walk. Go outside, go get something to eat, go out with some friends, enjoy life a little bit, have some fun. The code is not going anywhere. It'll be there tomorrow. Just make sure you pick it back up tomorrow so you can really internalize and understand what you learned today. It's always going to be there. You want to make sure that you don't want to overload yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to remember what you learned. You don't want to do so much that you don't even remember a lot of the stuff that you just did, because it was so much and it was so taxing on your brain. You gotta learn, you gotta take breaks and internalize, digest what you just learned so you could use that later on. You could use that tomorrow. You might learn something today so that you can use it tomorrow. That's what it's all about. That's why you have to stay focused and locked in and keep going and doing what it is that you do, staying disciplined. It all comes back to staying disciplined, y'all. That's why I thought it was important to make this video, because that's what goes over a lot of people's head. They don't understand the importance of discipline. And if they don't, that's what's going to separate them from the life that they're trying to live. A lot of people have this life that they're trying to live, but they don't see. They might look up to some people they see on YouTube, but they don't see, nor do they think about the hard work that those people are putting in off of YouTube. You have to at least think about life off of YouTube and what it takes, what people are doing to get in the position that they are on YouTube. Or not just YouTube, programming, anything. It's just, it could, if you want to be the best, a lot of it comes outside of game day. It comes in practice. You got to practice. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all learned something about discipline today. I hope y'all are encouraged to stay motivated. Just understand we're here every day. Come holler at me in the comments or something. If you're bored or you need somebody to talk to, or you're stuck on some code, let me know. We can learn together. We get through it, y'all. So make sure y'all follow, subscribe to this channel so you can link with us when we do LeetCode every day. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.